In today's video, we're going to talk about the number one thing I wish I knew when I was starting to learn how to play the ukulele. And honestly, it's the number one thing that comes up in private lessons. And all that it is how to not fret harder, but rather fret smarter. So let's go ahead and take a G chord, which everybody learns pretty much first when they start playing, right? Looks something like this. Well, a lot of times people do a G chord and it looks kind of like this. And what it should look like is more like this. Well, what's the difference there? Well, it's very subtle. It's very small. All that it is making sure that when you're placing your fingers on the fretboard, you're getting them right up to that fret wire. And that looks something like this on the second fret. Instead of placing your finger kind of in between like so, you want to get it right up next to that fret wire for every single thing that you fret. Now, to show how effective this is, I'm going to play a G chord this way, and I'm going to push only as hard as I need to. So I'm going to place my fingers on, I'm going to play it so that it's dead, and then gradually increase the pressure. And you can try this along with me too if you'd like. Now, I'm pushing maybe a third as hard as I usually will push doing this. And the reason this is such an effective exercise is because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these fingers back down a little bit this way, moving them more towards the center of the frets. And listen to the tone here. Hear that buzzing? Sounds terrible, doesn't it? Now I swear to you, I'm not pushing any harder when I do this. Hear how it's going between a buzz sound and a good tone? The reason for that is so simple. It's because each one of these fingers is getting right up next to that fret wire, which is making it so I don't have to push nearly as hard with whatever I'm playing. So the number one mistake that beginner players make is they put it in the middle, they get a buzz, and they think, oh, well, I need to push harder. And they keep pushing harder and harder and harder until they get a good sound. The reality is, by pushing hard enough, I could make a G chord work here. But now I'm pushing about 5 or 6 times harder than I am when I do it up here. So it's really just getting comfortable with that aspect of pushing smarter, pushing in that specific spot when you're playing. And a way that you can try this on your own is just doing exactly this. Fretting a G chord, finding where those fingers can get right up next to those fret wires, barely push and compress, get a crystal clear tone. Try moving it back, see if you still get that good tone. Bet you won't. I bet it'll buzz like crazy. And instead of pushing it harder to offset that buzz, push smarter. Look at where you are. Now this is obvious for a G chord, but this works every single time you're fretting anything on the ukulele. Whether you're playing another chord, or you're playing some sort of instrumental arrangement, or some melody, or scale, or riff, or lick, it doesn't matter what it is you're playing. This concept is the most important one for beginners to get down because it will impact your playing for your entire career playing the ukulele. And it's what I wish I paid more attention to early on when I started learning this instrument. If you have any questions with this, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. I'll look forward to seeing you guys next time on the next video. Take it easy.